Now when it comes to calisthenics and hand balancing, there's lots of different elements. There's the flexibility, there's the mobility, there's the strength, there's the balance, and then there's the skill of the movement. Now ideally you'd have a program that hits all of those things, and normally I would split the sessions between bent arm strength, straight arm strength, handstands and mobility, and have 3 or 4 sessions that I alternate throughout the week. Now sometimes we just don't have enough time for that, and we want to combine everything into one, and that's what I'm doing today. So I'm going to go into a flexibility movement or mobility in the Straddle L sit. Now obviously this is a straight arm strength as well. From here I'm going to go into a press handstand, so a stool to press, which is balance, straight arm strength, and again mobility. There's a lot of skill involved in that movement as well, and I'm going to combine that with a handstand push-up variation, and then come back down to that start position for the eccentric stooler. So for me, that's fantastic. It hits all the main skills that I'm working towards or I'm trying to maintain, and I can play with that in terms of progressions. I can make it harder, I could do it off the floor instead of having the hands raised up. I could go down to harder variations of that handstand push-up towards that 90-degree handstand push-up, or I could back it off in the other direction and make things easier. So if you're not quite up to that level yet, what are some of the things that you can do where you can combine everything? Here's a similar one. So we could go down into a standing straddle good morning. So we're working that mobility. So I'm taking my hips backwards, I'm working the adductors, the hamstrings from a mobility point of view, and I'm coming down there. I can spend some time in that position. Then I could come forwards, bend the arms, make a shelf, go into a crow froggy position, and then if I have it, from there I could press up to handstand and then do an eccentric press back down, trying to go as slow as possible till I kiss the floor. Now the downside of what I just done was that was all pushing movements. You could do something very similar for pulling movements, and if you superset the two, then you're getting a bit of everything. So I could do something like this where I'm hanging in this position. I could do a pull up. So now we're getting the bent arm strength. I could come back down, I could do a front lever pull up to that position, or I could even go through into a German hang. So that way I'm working some flexibility in that position as well, but also working the straight arm strength, hold, front lever positions, static holds, and then coming all the way down again. So many different options. If your balance isn't so good, you could do similar things against the wall. So again, working flexibility here with that straddle good morning position, but now I go against the wall with the arms bent. I push the head in, then the upper back. From here, I can press up to the wall. Now, once I get into this position, I can push up. I could try balancing off the wall, using the fingertips, using the shoulders to show control. Go back to the wall, up against the wall, and now slowly go through that eccentric press, rolling the back down the wall until tippy toes are very, very light, or just kissing the floor, and then come out. So again, there's some bent arm strength, some flexibility, some straight arm strength with that eccentric press on the way down. If that's too hard, I could just practice kicking up to the wall, showing control, try pulling it off the wall. Now we have the balance. Then I could come down onto the back on the floor here, work press handstand in this position. So again, mobility through, trying to kiss the wall and come back again. And then I could jump up and do a pike push up type movement for the bent arm strength. So basically you're picking one thing for each of the key things that suits or fits your current level. Now the downside of training this way is that there's not really enough volume, time under tension, or just practice of the same thing and over and over and over again to get a great training response. So ideally you want to be training multiple sets and reps of the same thing consistently, weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months and months, and that's how you get the great progress. So I wouldn't train like this all the time, but it's great if you miss some sessions, or if you've got to a certain level and you just want to maintain skills, it's a cool way to do it. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions with this one, and I'll speak to you guys in the next one.